Of course, in the studio, I have the top court himself, but he's going to get himself in some trouble for saying that today. You'll soon find out why. PC Brooms. I've been watching you. Not that inner circle. Hold on. Before you wreck in the circle. I worry what will happen to you today. I worry what will happen to you today. Everyone will understand what we're laughing about very soon. Here we go. Precious. What you wanna do now? I'm coming for you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come for you? Pull up. And of course, we have on the line Her Royal Highness, Her Majesty, the Queen.
Hey, ha. People really jealous though.
Robert.
Really jealous. That's a few fans there one side. She's a dancer queen for life. Like dynamite. The place like dynamite. Gonna explode like dynamite. Correct is right.
She sound bad, man. She sound real bad for two verse. You're right. Cut them off.
You might train me a party. So
I guess that end movement there so short.
She sound bad. They desperate people out there though.
You see Rose telling me turn it off. I didn't say turn it off. You're right for see sound bad. I ain't said nothing.
That jealousy. The jealousy man does.
Good afternoon, Queen. Good afternoon, PC bros.
Yep. I hear, man. Another Thursday, man. Special Thursday. A special edition of the two hot horrors put together today, man. Special one.
All right, good evening, everybody. Good evening, you, Versi. I would ignore the idiot next to you.
Oh, dear. Well, Queen, we got a lot to get into today, man. We got enough things happening here today. We have, I think we got 3 more prizes to give you today, Versi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we got 3 more of them things, so we got to get to that. And then we also got the Barbados Police Service in here today.
Oh,
remember? Yeah, we got some of my colleagues in here today.
I think the man coming in, the first thing I ask Versi, what is, man, who's this man here? Who's this man in police uniform? I never seen him in my life yet. Who's he?
No, we just work different shifts out. We don't see one.
Of course. There's a working shift that is going to work. They use working shift that you don't come. They do a come shift. Man, let me say the Barbados Police Service, they never take your word.
Yeah, they're actually here already. Yes, Inspector Ronnie Innes and my wife are actually here.
Let me get the people on Facebook.
Let the people on Facebook.
Right.
I am wonderful, Queen.
Okay,
it is with you.
Yeah, let the people on Facebook know where to go PC, bro, so that they can see me in all of my splendor, first of all.
Yes.
I think the most important person here right now, currently.
This is the next gentleman here for the police service.
Hi, good evening.
Constable White. Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, repeat.
Hi, good evening, Constable White.
Right, Constable White here.
Yes. You're here for a very important.
He look brown to me though. I don't know. He look dark to me.
Yeah, you can go to PC Booms on Facebook if you want to see it live, because we can be demonstrating the breathalyzer in here today, Queen.
Man, the breathalyzer?
Yeah, come in here.
So where are you starting from?
Look at that. Go on Facebook, you can see who the breathalyzer look like.
Let the people tune on first. The PC Bros Facebook page.
Yeah, PC Bros on Facebook. That's the PC Bros. Type in PC Bros and you're there.
And you're there.
Right. Correct. Right. So we can be demonstrating breathalyzer and everything today because they're coming 1st April.
The 1st April without that's a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, exactly.
No. That ain't listen, curfew no down, people don't go pick up the drinks and enjoy life and everything. When go back, but this is when the curfew again, no.
No, man. We're not stopping you from drinking, Queen. We're saying enjoy yourself, enjoy
Right.
the end of the curfew. But if you're gonna drink,
Hmm.
don't drive.
Don't drive.
Right.
Yeah. We
That's
get
right.
something. That's another job. A designated driver. You could
That's
go and
right.
go and get some carriages things. Use a designated driver. Can't home people.
The last designated driver that we had, the man ran through here around the car, jumped as a fish. You left me in the car to watch the car. Said, listen, where you saying if you know you're gonna drink, go on, because we bring you here. Next, you know, he probably people down floor park, you know, walking up. Next, you know, I may bring you beers and tell you one beer can't do you nothing.
Uh-huh.
Next, you know, we didn't can't wrong.
Well, no, we gotta get official designated drivers. Now, not one that can tell you he's a designated driver. We gotta make sure these people
Yes,
think.
I was designated driver, but I'm gonna bring another. I don't even know what designated mean, but bring another one of those things that you just give me every cherry on it. No. Okay, so basically what you're saying is that from the 1st of April, that the breathalyzer test thing in effect.
Right.
That's right.
So that means that the police can pull you over at any given time.
All right. This is a good thing. This is a good time to start here. Can we ask the questions here? A gentleman can ask and give some answers.
Okay.
Is it just no?
No, I'm trying to find all this thing is word.
They can tell who his word.
Let me give you an overview.
The superintendent, inspector, sergeant, commissioner,
Inspector
and he's got nothing.
Let me tell you the formal thing, Queen and the others listen.
Right.
Right.
We are dealing with the Section 85 of the Road Traffic Act. There's been repeal and an amendment. And
maybe it's appeal. I mean that
repeal. It was repealed.
What that mean? What that mean?
They're done with it.
They take that and they replace it with someone.
That's just all what would peel off and all that.
All right.
I'm at school
All right.
talking me road. So,
But the law says now, driving or being in charge of a motor vehicle while under the influence of a drug or alcohol. No person shall drive, attempt to drive, or be in charge of a motor vehicle on the road or in any other public place while that person is A, under the influence of drink or drive, or drugs, to such an extent as to be incapable of having proper control of the motor vehicle. And B, has consumed alcohol in such a quantity that the proportion in his breath or blood exceeds the prescribed limit. It goes further to say a person who contravenes that section is guilty of an offense and is liable on summary conviction. Listen to this part, summary conviction. In the case of a first conviction, to a fine of $5,000 or imprisonment for a term of 2 years, or both. Or both. That's the first conviction. For the second conviction, subsequent conviction, to a fine of $10,000, you double the fine, and to imprisonment for a term of 5 years, or both. So the fine suggests that it's a real serious offense. This was passed sometime in 2017. But we had to do a lot of training. We had to get the equipment in, and we had to do internal training among the police officers. And we have decided formally that this breathalyzer will be launched from the 1st of April. As of the 1st of April, we are educating people now so that they will know. They can't say they don't know. I mean, even if they say they don't know, we will still be enforcing. And we don't want to be prosecuting persons. We want to educate them to help to have safer roads for you and for me.
I understand that there fully. Now, this breathalyzer thing, as far as I understood it, it's something that you have to blow into or something so it will be able to calculate the amount of drinks you had, something so.
That's right.
So that can tell you if you had a mini ram and 2 beers, or if you had a bottle of wine and a glass of it. How it is work? Explain to me how it's work.
It doesn't tell you that. It tells you how much alcohol is in your breath when you blow. But I would allow my partner here, Constable White, who is fully trained with the breathalyzer, to explain that section to you.
He still look dark brown to me though, but anyhow, he look white to me. But if he's white, you know, everybody don't want to like him. Go ahead, Constable Brown, being white.
Once again, with this device, it only detects alcohol and it gives you a quantity. So you get a numeric value based on the breath sample that you provide.
So
once the officer has suspicion to believe that you're under the influence of alcohol, request a breath sample, you're required to do so. And if you refuse, you can be liable under conviction to a fine of $1,000 or 6 months in prison. Now, in terms of a person given a breath test, once you blow into the device, you'll hear one solid beep.
Beep.
Yes. It will then analyze your breath sample and it will tell you the numeric value.
When you say numeric value, what you really mean?
It will tell you a number.
Oh, okay.
Give you a number.
Yes. And so long as you're not over 35 micrograms per 100 milliliters of breath, you're good.
Okay.
So if you see anything over 35 come up on the screen, you know that you are
trouble.
way over the prescribed.
But a lot of people who drink alcohol are older than 35, so I don't understand how this is going to work.
No, it's not about the age.
35 is a number that is measure the drinks and the amount of alcohol in the thing that you blow.
In the breath.
In the breath. Oh. Yes. So, but if I suck 2 brown mints, that can destroy that whole thing. If I suck a brown mint and they blow, you can get the little menthol, little peppermint thing going in that there so too.
No. This device only detects alcohol. So a brown mint does not have any alcohol. So once the person consumes alcohol, it will detect it. And so long as you're over the 35, you'll be required to give a second breath test, no less than 2 minutes, no more than 10 minutes. And the lower of the 2 numbers between the 2 tests will be the one that we would use.
Right.
So long as the lower number comes below the 35 micrograms per 100 milliliters, you are under the prescribed limit.
But a question here now, because you got some people, right, that can't handle the drink. That's honest truth. So if they drink a plus and it got a little drop of something in it,
a twist.
A little twist.
Yeah.
Twist or shandy. You got some women that contain the smell alcohol, the head is stirring, they off all the clothes and do all kind of foolishness. And don't know the giddy. Right, that's a little one drink. A one drink can do that with some people. So them can't get, but your list device there, them blowing that might not get in the 35 microseconds or whatever it is. It might show them that them ain't really drunk. Another man who know accosting the drinking a beverage, you understand? He just drink a flask of whiskey every Saturday evening or a half on around, and it don't do he nothing. But when he blowing your thing now can tell the man that he drunk. So I'm trying to understand how one of them do this thing.
Well, Queen, I'm glad you asked those questions because those are popular questions.
Right.
The thing about, and that's why we welcome breathalyzer. You either drunk, we don't mean blind drunk, we mean legally drunk.
Legally drunk.
So it doesn't matter who the person is. Yes, people, the effects of alcohol depends on your sex, your size, your weight, all that sort of stuff.
Some people drink for the hungry belly, like PC Browns and drink more beer and drunk the whole there.
But what is good about the device, it measures your that breath and what is the content in that breath. So it doesn't matter if you had a flask of rum, 3 beers, or what. What matters is the result when we test you. So the result tells us you're either legally drunk or you're not. You're at 35 and above or you're not.
Right.
So that's good for you, the driver, and good for us, the enforcement officer. So we know. So what you're saying is true, though. Alcohol will have various effects on different people, depending on the size and how they're accustomed drinking and the quantity and all of that.
Right.
So that's why this device is very good. 35.035 milligrams and 100 milligrams, and that's it.
Right.
Above that, you're drunk.
You're drunk. Okay, all right. So I know the question that people are going to be asking, like people asking me from my WhatsApp here now.
Yes.
Basically asking me, so what kind of drinkage would carry you to that 35? Men here want to know if they drink two.
We can demonstrate into this evening.
We can
demonstrate all that this evening.
If you drink 2 beers or 4 beers, if that will put you up in the limit, because man got to know how to shut off. You understand what I mean?
You got to know that thing.
You got to know when to shut off or before the gravy boil out. So a man want to know if he go by a bar You know, and a man off he 4 beers. If he should drink 2 and tell the shopkeeper about the other 2 till next week or whatever.
All right.
Based on our alcohol content for our beers in the Caribbean, and I can speak specifically for Barbados. What we've seen is that about 4 to 5 beers for the average man, 150 pounds, that will put you right there on the edge of the 35 programs.
4 to 5 beers.
4 to 5 beers.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people watch that answer that same question.
In terms of spirits, now in the Caribbean, we drink our spirits way in excess. We serve inside the spirits. Normally just a shot glass. We would sit down a whole day and finish off 2 to 3 in the Caribbean. We know how we drink. However, about 3 shot glasses would normally put a person right there on the edge.
In Barbados, a shot glass is 3 shots is a shot in Barbados.
And I'm not talking about a cup, the average cup. I'm talking about a shot glass, the actual serving amount, which is about
smaller
an inch.
Yeah. When you go to the Queen, when you go to the fancy bars and stuff, or a restaurant with a bar, you know, when they give you a shot, you say, "What's that? You give me for my money?" That's what really is. The shot, not only to get from you know a 4-mile bar. So you understand, Queen?
Yeah. They say a shot is roughly about an ounce and a half, roughly. But being a sport, a shot. Let me tell you, man, give you a shot around. That shot that the Americans that use there, don't there really shot that this cut half there.
Correct.
And not a lot of Snyder, because you're trying to rob me now.
But Queen, something you asked earlier that I didn't address.
What's that?
You mentioned about the persons drinking, different types of people drinking and whatnot. One of the other things that the law provides for is that if a police officer see you driving, and you was one of the people that you said I had the plus.
Right.
But because you had the little plus, you get no crazy.
Right.
And when you blow, you're still below the 35.
Right.
But your driving is dangerous.
Erratic.
Yeah. Yes. It still makes provisions where the police can actually test you, and you can be prosecuted for your driving activity, even though you're below the limit.
Right.
Because right. So you may be on. Mr. Broom got it right.
I got it.
So the idea is to make the road safe for everyone. So if you're erratic by drinking a plus,
right,
and you're not fully controlling your vehicle, then the police officer have the right to stop you, pull you over, and administer the law to you.
Okay.
Right. So we just want to make that clear. Right.
So you were saying 4 to 5 beers, you say just now.
Yes.
Right. And how many of the strong spirits, as you call it, spirits? How many shots?
About 3 shots on average. Yes. The average man, in terms of females, you have to probably put that at 1.5 or so.
Well, you see, we're doing that. He's just giving that as an example. We don't want to leave here with you thinking, your listeners thinking, that the police said, man, a shot or 3 shots or whatever, because it varies.
Right.
But what is important, and this is a good investment idea, persons, other countries have invested in their own devices, where people travel with them and test themselves to see if they're going to be up to the limit. Some of them don't stand up to the test of the devices that the police do have, but at least it gives you an idea. So it will vary. So we don't want to be quoted and say, yeah, you can have 5 beers and 3 rum. We're saying that we want you to be, enjoy yourself. And if you ever think or have doubt that you've consumed too much, get a taxi, get somebody to drive.
So somebody here don't asking me, first of all, good evening to you, Marcy. Marcy says she drank a case of beer, but she said, I bet it's true. I see she in action already. She could drink a case of beer, but she said, right? And she don't wobble on that and so, but she's sizable too. Good. But people here asking me a dangerous question. If you are going to be deliberately targeting drinking spots.
No. We knew that question was going to come. That's the number one question.
I don't be funny before you answer, because the body want to know if so, if we're going to be targeting the rich people spots up on the restaurants, or if we're just dealing with boxes road on back. That's what the people asking me. If we're just dealing with boxes road on back, or the Lightfoot Lane, the city, and those places. If you all have got the police cars parked up Old Town and First Street, and the village places, when the drunken people coming out again. Anyhow, you answer that there for me, please.
I will say this. We don't target those people. We target bad drivers, drunk drivers. And what the law provides is that police officers are not allowed to just willy-nilly pull over a person and test them. The circumstances under which you will, if you're driving and you're speeding, if you're erratic in your driving, if you've gone through a traffic light, let's say, or something like that, where you've done something to show the police officers that you're not a good, competent driver at that point in time, if you committed a traffic offense. If we have reason to believe that you have excessive alcohol in your system, then we can, if we suspect that, we can test you. Mm-hmm. And there's some other reason, but we cannot, the police officers are advised not to just go and point to Joe Public, pick up a person and say, well, they want to test you.
So in other words, you are saying that the possibility is slim to none that y'all will not be part of outside the body karaoke or the body fat, waiting till they get the car pull off, and then they go. Me ask another question here, you know, what constitutes being driving or driven, or because I know in America, and you gotta get diesel. Once you get behind the car and you start, even if you don't move the way yet, sometimes the people is that thing for that. So I'm out, this is a fella gotta be diesel. I'm going to sit down in the car and start it, and then realize that he got into much waters. And just rest back in the seat a little bit and left the AC on till he catch himself.
Well, like I said to you when we first started, the law explains exactly who a driver is. And no person shall drive, attempt to drive, or be in charge of a motor vehicle on a road.
So you consider that attempting to drive?
No, it's being in charge. Okay. If you, Queen, have your key to your Mercedes.
No, I mean, I keep that door. That's another charge.
Yeah. And you have the key, and you are somewhere sitting down or whatever. You have sole control of that vehicle. You agree?
Yes.
By having the key.
Right.
So you're in charge of that vehicle. So if you're seated in your vehicle, as you said, having a few drinks, the windows roll up, you're still the person in charge of that vehicle, aren't you?
Yes, please.
And you are in a public place, which makes it a public road.
Yes, please.
Right. So police still have the right to knock on your window and check you out.
Right.
Having talked to you, if they feel or they suspect that you're under the influence, that that's a reason why they can ask you to take a.
I'm going to much waters and tell myself just cool my breeze here a little bit though.
No, but the law, we understand that, and that's where we have police officers who are competent enough and who use their discretion. Right. But the idea is that to send home the message to you that you are in charge of your vehicle. The police ain't gonna be there all the time, but we gotta make sure that you being drunk, you will not wait till the police leave.
I don't let you turn drunk. I had in a couple.
All right, you had in a couple, a few couples.
Right, a few couples.
Right. So that's what we try to do. We are not draconian in the way we do things, but we will still enforce the law to try to make it safe up there. We've seen too many fatalities, too many life-changing accidents. Too many people have died on our roads, and we are trying to make a curve on that. And I'm sure the Queen and PC Broom here for years, we've always been pushing road safety. We want people to enjoy themselves. What's important, we are not at all advocating that you must not drink.
Right.
All we want to say, if you're going to drink, get a designated driver, or get a taxi, or walk, or catch your bus, or do something like that.
So this for bicycle man, though?
Yes. That's another point. You're making all the points you really if you're riding bicycle, it applies to you. Because a bicycle is a vehicle. It's not a motor vehicle, but it's a vehicle.
Right.
And motorcycle, lawnmower, whatever it is you bring on the road. If you're drunk and you're in control, it's an offense. And that's the message we want to send.
It goes even further. Even states if you're in control of an animal. So if you have a horse wagon, a donkey cart, it even goes that far.
No, that is a different one, no. Because back in the day, that old man that used to sell sweet potato and had donkey carts used to drink and get blind drunk, sit down in donkey cart and don't keep a cat on.
We ain't had breathalyzer then.
The donkey used to know when to stop at the top of the road, when you cross the road.
Well, right, so Queen demand the drunk, but not the donkey.
Exactly.
So that's a difference.
There's a difference now.
But you got cars here that ain't got that kind of sense.
Okay, all right. Right.
So the cars will run under a bus or something, then you get hurt, and the other person can.
All right. Another question
here.
Questions coming. I can't use that word here, so but basically, body's asking, even you, Shelly. Basically, body's asking about the hygienic thing of that device in this COVID environment. How you putting your mouth in something you don't know, somebody had a mouth up to that there so already. You don't know who blowing that thing already. So people here, let's skeptical about putting them up on something. Now you be skeptical about putting them up in wrong things too, because then you just don't know who went there first or whatever. How you can guarantee that that thing is sanitary and hygienic for people to put them up and talk and make speak?
I am going to let Mr. White speak to you, but before he says that, I'm going to say that apart from this show, this whole month, we're going to saturate the airwaves, social media, everything, showing your public what we do. We understand the COVID environment, and it will not affect you at all. The single-use blow tubes. Right. But I will let Mr. White explain all of that to you.
Right. There's people out there who tune into Facebook. If you want to see it, we can show you everything live. We can do a live demonstration in the studio right here. Go to PC Rooms on Facebook. Look for the page. Right there, we can show you everything live. All right, go ahead.
As you can see here for the guys on Facebook, each mouthpiece is individually packaged in this plastic container and is sealed. We will show the person and let them inspect and make sure that it's sealed. And you will take it off. Make sure that you do not touch the mouthpiece. So you only handle this end with the tab. Yes.
Go ahead.
You also only handle the end with the tab. So when they're taking it out, you just slide it down onto the device like this, and then they just push it onto the device.
Okay.
You're gonna hear a click.
So
no contact.
Yeah.
No contact at all.
No point in my hand.
Right. Okay.
He be wearing gloves too.
Let's say how get training. Got PC Room and put all the water lock.
Yes.
I still want you using it.
My training came from LifeLock Technologies, and this is located in Colorado.
Okay.
And this is for the FC20 BT device, and this device is one of the best in worldwide. So we chose to go with that one.
Right.
And within seconds, as we demonstrated earlier.
Let me get demonstrate again, though.
Yes, you get the.
But you can get we can do that now actually.
So, for those who are watching on Facebook, we're going to demonstrate again. So I'm just going to put on some gloves here.
Right.
And we're going to go through our demonstration again. Earlier we carried out a test on Miss Brooms.
Miss Boyne,
and she was negative.
Yes.
Check she again later on tonight, book 11 o'clock when she left.
She gave me driving queen.
I know that Lady Lord singing that Sage tonight. So she got Sage tonight and put into water. Check her again, please.
All right.
So I'm gonna just turn on the device. It's gonna go through its normal routine where it checks the temperature, and the device carries out its internal checks. Once that is correct, then it goes on to the second screen.
Right.
All right. I will bypass the normal data entry part where we put in her name, and I'll just answer the blow on the device. And you're gonna keep
see her blowing.
So keep blowing. Okay. And you see she's at 0.
That working.
That ain't working.
All right, at this time we're gonna have her just consume a little bit of alcohol, just a mouthful, to show what happens when you have alcohol residue in your body.
It's do not so fast.
But no one saying residue. No. If a person has been drinking within the last 10 minutes and has residue on their mouth, you're going to get a reading. And the reason why we have the 10-minute span, no less than 2 minutes, no more than 10 minutes, is to ensure that we do not get a reading of the residue.
Okay.
So right now, she's going to give us another.
But that's a white rum that she hits straight, so.
That's just a beer.
She's a good rum drinker there, boy. She swallowed that there, so I had the water behind it. Pop.
She's gonna blow back into the device, and you're gonna see a big difference. Keep blowing. All right, good. Right here, you're seeing a graph. That's the alcohol graph. It takes a little while to do the analysis, and then you're gonna see a numeric number, 46.
Right.
So that's 46 micrograms. That's just with the alcohol residue on her mouth. That's not what you ideally want.
Right.
So about
you said 35.
35 is
okay.
35 is when you're right at the
edge.
Okay. Anything above 35.
Yes.
Problems.
Right.
So imagine if she just had that one bit in her mouth and was stopped by the officer and blow, they would think that she's over the limit.
Right. So when you get your chance and what flash up, she must be
I would like to clarify that I had a little bit of the beer early when you did the test before.
Okay.
This is 2 mouthfuls of beer.
Okay.
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 About half bottle.
I don't think beer. Just say.
So Queen and the listeners, the law provides that when we stop you and we had reason to perform the test, like what she just did, you got to read in. But what Constable White will do now, the law requires that in no more than 10 minutes, no less than 2 minutes, you perform a second test.
So,
and he will explain why you need to
during
do
that period, Inspector Constable, Commissioner of Police, Sergeant Kennedy, who we name, Red Rodney. Right. So during that process, I can wash up my mouth a little bit then. I could got a little bottle of water.
Goggle.
Put my mouth because of the residue. The climate figures the residue that daily problem, so I want to join the 10-minute break. And make a take a bottle of water and flash up my mouth a little bit and get rid of say, as you ran from down between my jawbones. I'm done between my tonsils and saying, you understand what's supposed to be.
I understand what you're saying.
Right. At this point in time, when the officers are carrying out the test, you cannot eat or drink anything at this point. If you have been drinking and you're obviously over the limit, no amount of washing out your mouth is going to change anything. If it's residue in your mouth, it may wash away a little quicker.
Right.
But the 10 minutes is just so that any residue would evaporate.
Right.
Because within that time frame, any residue would evaporate and we'll get a correct test.
Okay.
So in the next 10 minutes, we will give Miss Boyne another test and we will see it will drop back down to 0.
Quick question. I see overseas, a lot of people are asked to walk a straight line. Is that required here?
No, it's not necessarily required by law. But different forces will have different things to do for the police officer to get an idea as to whether this person might be drunk, might be concentrating, might be, because there's certain reasons why you can stop persons who may appear erratic, and when you interview them, you realize that they might be avoiding a pothole, or it could be something that's different. You may ask people to blow into the tube, and they may have a medical problem, like a lung problem or something like that. And the law makes provisions for a lot of that. So a police are asking you to walk a straight line may just assist him in indicating whether you seem to be fully competent or not. So we don't have to do that. Yeah, we may ask you to do something that will satisfy me while you're in control. Right? So that may be just one of the things. It's not mandatory.
Inspector Superintendent.
You hold on. I know you got no questions there coming in, but we got thank the sponsors here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You understand?
Right.
If not, now they say it can be happening.
That's right.
Yes, it's all brought to you compliments of Mark's Auto Spares. 4 locations to serve you. Bel Air St. George. You can telephone Bel Air at 437-9819. Spooner Hill St. Michael, 425-9361. Salter St. George, 228-6992. And 6 Road St. Philip, 271-1297. Only top brand name parts for your vehicle. Mark's Auto Spares. The number 1 Auto Spares in Barbados. And it's also brought to you compliments of Good Time Snacks. Good Time Snacks, your favorite snack, made right here in Barbados. They have the toffee popcorn, caramel popcorn, fruity popcorn, salted popcorn, hot balls, nacho rings, cheese twists, and corn curls. You can also go nuts with Good Time Snacks. They have the honey-coated peanuts, healthy fruit and nut, salted nuts, cashews, almonds, and many, many more from Good Time Snacks. Your favorite snack made right here in Barbados. And it's also brought to you compliments of Omega XL, great health works agents for Omega XL. Woo! Omega X. They black army queen.
You can't read so good. Right, that's what everything.
They black army. I know they want to run my thing after that. I don't know how beer she got. Oh, anyway, Omega XL is a small, easy to swallow capsule. Omega XL is 200 times more effective than regular fish oils. It reduces inflammation produced by the body due to illness, disease, and exposure to toxins. It reduces joint pain due to buildup of inflammation, thereby improving mobility. It promotes good heart, eye, and respiratory health with no fishy foul Fishy foal. No, fishy foal.
Fishy foal
No
smell.
fishy foal. No fishy foal smelling burps. Omega XL.
Listen,
Distributed by Great Health Works.
so it's about what testing to it.
All right, Queen, do your thing.
No. A man here is telling me I can't answer some of the questions here that people are asking because people asking things like if you can check ministers and politicians and all that. They really don't want to answer that question. I believe that everybody can be fair and everybody be treated fairly.
That's right.
On behalf of the police. Now, man here was telling me, Queen, no, here all over just go. He was basically telling me that he could drink practically the whole day and he just don't got no effects, nothing like that there, so, right? And he told me he know he would get old. But at time he drink some cough, or it's a cough, and how he giddy and half foolish. And when he get in his car, he didn't know what he doing.
Okay.
So how you all gonna treat these kind of people now? Because they got people that can be up there for medication and all kind of things that can be drunk, but they ain't drunk.
Okay, we could be coming to that, but I think the 10 minutes has almost gone.
Okay.
And we're going back to the test we made, the second test.
All right, remember, people, you can tune in live on Facebook. PC Brooms on Facebook. We are doing it live. We are doing a live test here in the studio. Gary Boy, she had her first test, so she's going to get checked
I'd like
again.
to please inform my bosses that this is all for the public good.
Yes,
Please,
correct.
Your voice is smearing, by the way.
No, she's all right. She's all right.
And as you can see, 0.
Right.
Right. Okay, I got you know.
Not because she didn't consume a lot.
Right.
It kind of wore off.
Right.
Okay.
So if she had been drinking probably about 4 beers or
No, I should be drinking 4 beers. You mean if one of the cognacs there?
But if she was drinking for a prolonged period of time, you would actually get
second reader was still
a higher number.
Right.
Because it's just that one.
A shot,
a coffee cup amount that
Okay.
she was consuming. You're just showing that alcohol is detected. It detects any minute number, but a residue in your mouth is going to read a very high number. So that's what 10 minutes is for, so that the lowest number will use.
Exactly.
So if the officer had tested her about 5 minutes after she consumed that and got that reading, and then about 10 minutes after he got the 0, he will know, okay, this person just had residue, they are not.
Okay.
All right,
So that negates the excuse that a person would say, well, I just drink a little thing there.
Right.
So we will know if you drink a little say there before the police pulled you over, or if you were drinking a large volume before. So it's a fair assessment. But to the question that you posed, Queen,
yes,
with the alcohol and certain medications and whatnot.
Right.
You know, most often when we take those medications, the doctors and medical fraternity always advises you, well, don't drive.
Right.
So if you are going to drink a bottle of rum, or you're going to take prescribed medication that will affect you in the same way, what would a good, competent driver do? He wouldn't drive because he knows he's going to be under the influence if he takes such medication.
Right.
So the police officer, the tool measures the amount of alcohol in your blood. It doesn't say where the alcohol originated from. So you have to be careful. You ask persons to be reasonable and to be considerate in terms of knowing when to take the alcohol and what their doctor has prescribed them and whatnot. So you will get cases like that. But if it's proven that you were not, you will still be guilty. But we would advise most people to check with their doctors and medication and whatnot to make sure that if they consume their medication, it's going to make them a little tipsy-turvy, not to drive.
All right. So people want you to repeat again. Please ask about refusal to take the test. People want to find out again about that part, because that can happen regular.
That will happen.
Right, so
and like I said from the beginning, a person has the right to refuse.
Right.
He can say, look, officer, I don't want to test. But the law has provisions to say, well, look, if you refuse, you have failed the test, and you can be fined $1,000 or 6 months in prison or both. That is a separate charge. In other words, if you're driving on your street and you're pulled over and asked to give a breath test, you can say yes or you can say no. But what the law is saying is if you refuse, there's a penalty.
Right. Full.
Right. So
right.
Right. And if you refuse, it's an arrestable offense too as well.
So you can't get out of that at all.
You can get out by saying yes, by not drinking and driving first thing.
Right.
and then saying yes, I'll take the test.
Okay, and then yet.
But if you're blind drunk though, Queen,
Right.
you know a fella when he's blind drunk, you feel that everybody's drunk and not.
I'm not.
You know, right. So the aim is to get him or her home safely. So the law provides for all of those things, and it's quite fair.
Okay, so you report me now. Okay, I got up my waters, right? Police pulled me over. I driving we call it erratically, or yes, I driving erratically. Erratically. I know I don't get the big word you mean. Right, you pulled me over. I blowing the thing. I gone past the 35 micromillimeters kilograms above the edge. I gone past. Good. How I get home now?
How you get home?
You arrested me there, then? But you pay handcuffs for me?
Yeah, but I mean, they're not put handcuffs, but you're arrested. You're taken into custody.
Oh,
it's an offense. It's a serious offense, Queen, that you've committed.
No, I thought that you were gonna write me in a buck or something. So tell me, take my insurance and driver's license and
this is no. Those are for the mini offenses.
Right, okay.
For the major offense like this,
yeah,
where you have your life and the life of other road users at risk. But we can't leave you out there. We take you in,
right,
and you're charged and placed before. It's an arrestable offense, meaning that if you commit the offense, you can be arrested there and then, no matter where you are.
How much I get home now?
How much?
How much I get home now?
Well, that's something that we can make provisions for, or we can tow the vehicle to the station.
Road rescue, Queen.
Right.
I got different kind of things.
Right.
Like a Russ.
Right, but you gotta remember that before you drink.
Okay, right. So you are saying that you can be, you can be or will be arrested at that point.
Yes.
Put in shackles in the government bangles and put in the back of the police van or car or whatever and take it to some police station and thing.
Yes.
And then I go to court the next morning or something. No, what happened after that?
Yeah, that's right. Once we prefer the charge, and we've given you time to we serve you with the notice, because you see those two tests that Mr. White took with Miss Bowen just now. He signs it and gives her, so she has her evidence that she was tested not once but twice, and the two limits and the time and everything, and that's there for her record, so that when she sober up, she or he, to have the evidence there. And you're placed before the court, and then the magistrate will do what they have to do.
Oh, okay, Michelle, the gentleman say alcohol. Cause she asked me about milky drinks like Baileys and Christmas, and eggnog and that kind of thing. She asked me if them kind of drinks is registered anything. But I hear you say alcohol, so I believe if it's alcohol, whether it is white rum and Sprite, whether it is beer, whether it is Baileys, whether it is brandy or Coke, once it got in the...
If you drink perfume.
Right, once it got in the diesel, once it got in the diesel, I am going through that thing, the mobs in there, the register, pop goes, the visa, bad blower.
That's right.
Somebody on the Facebook is asking if every accident scene, it can be mandatory to do the breathalyzer test.
That's another reason why breathalyzer is there. Every person involved in a road traffic collision, if it's a serious one or sadly fatal, those two categories, fatal or serious, the drivers will be breathalyzed. They will be required to take a breath test. And if the drivers are the injured parties and they've gone off to the hospital, then we still go to the hospital. We will speak to the medical practitioner and we tell him if we need a urine sample or a blood sample. And he will advise which one he will take.
Yeah, but yes, those samples, you don't want to get talking, but you want to yes, those samples,
No, they're not to be frightened. I want them to respect and appreciate safety on the road. It's a #1 priority. And if we can do that, we got a lot of good drivers, we got Bajors are educated and say, a lot of us know that we should not be drinking and driving. And because we didn't have breathalyzer before, they got away with it. But now you have the right mechanism and the right law in place to ensure that the roads are much safer. And we have road safety advocates over the years who have been preaching and wanting this come on our shores. And there's also thought about persons, we are a tourist destination and we should be doing this. But I want to remind all Barbadians that where the tourists come from, Canada, England, America, they all have breathalyzers 30 years ago. So there's nothing new. As a matter of fact, with the introduction of breathalyzer, I think it will encourage more tourists to come here because they will think that our roads are much safer. So that's what we want to do. So we have that relationship the whole of this month. We can be having all kind of exhibitions, all kind of education, all kind of classroom work to show the public out there. We are meeting them halfway. We don't want to arrest Barbadians or drivers. We just want to make the roads safer.
That sounds good.
Yes.
I agree with that one. No.
Yes.
What about then after you get arrested, right? How much times I can drink and drive after that so without getting my license taken away? Because people asking me now about license getting taken away. If it's the first time, the second time, the third time, everyone got demerit points, how this thing is working. If you get arrested now for drunk driving the first time, if your license suspended for 2 months after that day, so you get hold again, if you're going to treat you, stop it. All this here working now, talk to me, inspector, black and white.
No,
This is Constable White. In terms of the first time you're convicted, your license can be taken away for 12 months.
Oh, that's a long time.
Long time. The second subsequent conviction, up to 5 years. After the second, the third, fourth, or fifth, not like I do not believe a marshal will allow you to get that far, but in the case that you have any more than 2, you can permanently be deprived of your license.
But here now, repeat that again, because that's an important one there. Repeat that again.
Yes. After the second subsequent conviction, you can be permanently deprived of your driving license. Because at this stage, they've established that clearly you have a problem, and we know that alcoholism is a disease, and in order to protect you and the members of the public, they can say you're not fit to hold a driving license.
That's right. All right, someone on my WhatsApp here asking the question, does this deal with weed smokers too?
This device, the breathalyzer, only detects alcohol.
Yes.
However,
it wasn't looking for that question at all.
However, if the police officer on stopping you smells what they believe to be marijuana, they can request that you give a laboratory test, which means you have to either give blood or urine. And once it's detected in your system, whatever drug it may be marijuana, cocaine, methamphetamines, or all the other designer drugs, you can be prosecuted under this section of the law as well.
All right, there you go. All right. That was a good question, though.
Yes. And there will be many other questions, and we want them because, as I said, we try to educate the public. We really want to. I mean, we want to know, Queen, that come the 1st of April, not that we will be out in our numbers to prosecute persons, but we are giving you a fair chance. You remember in 2001 when we had the seatbelt law.
Right.
When the seatbelt law first came out, it gave us, I mean, we tried to educate the public the same way too as well. But we realized that we had to put a lot of people before the court because people wouldn't buckle up. And now it comes almost automatic.
Yes, please.
As soon as you get in your car, you buckle. So we want the same for drinking and driving. We want to know that if the Queen can have a little drink, that PC Broom can say, well, look, you know, you could drink, but I drive in tonight. You know, you want people that way. We don't want to be just going to road fatalities and questioning and wondering if alcohol was involved.
Listen, somebody here's what Cassie want to do.
That's no problem.
She said that is, I got a little curse word here. The environment is do a lot of and don't lose their license. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, the law is for everyone. It's for every driver. It doesn't matter what nationality, what age, what sex, what profession. The law is there for everyone. And if persons like who she's speaking of come across our radar or whatever what we're doing, and we have reasons to suspect, and we do a test and the person fails, they will face the court the same way. But we are going to have a session with the public service vehicles too.
Yes, please.
We're going to speak to them in the same way, and we can be very frank with them. We're going to answer all their questions, and we can let them know. But tell that person, apart from stripping at what we're saying, strips at the driver.
Right.
And let the driver know if you're doing so, I ain't catching you no more.
Right. But
and then that would
I've got a question here now, Inspector Sergeant Major, Superintendent Colonel. Listen, no, if a man is driving and drinking but he ain't drunk, because at times I have been on ZR vans already and see men with a little thingy bobsy there, you know, a little stout or beer or something, so, and they're drinking and they're driving. I don't feel they've got enough diesel yet to register for you there. Or sometimes a man going in the shop, tell a man give my beer there quick and he get in the car. But that beer can't push you over the top.
It may not push you over the top, but it's still illegal. Public service vehicles are not supposed to be smoking or drinking alcohol while on duty. So if you buy a beer, a plus, if you buy alcohol at all, oh yeah, you didn't know that, of course, you didn't know that, me. So where
this is all this different comedy show coming up here later on after a few dollars crop over start my day. So you said that the public service man, he said, I'm not supposed to drink a little beer, a little stout in between when they driving.
He's not supposed to be smoking or drinking alcohol.
Check him out. All right, boys, they do so. Well, it's also but there's a lot of information there.
It is.
As I said, we starting the first
of April.
The 1st of April.
And that's no April Fool's joke.
Yeah. 1st of April 2022.
1st of April 2022. Breathalyzer test will be in full effect.
Full effect.
The box and we know that I could go or people, you know, could go and look at the act or whatever it is. You see, bro, anybody there, so I know anything clear that everybody wants. I believe that as you go down the road, government information service and other people will get involved in getting information.
That's right. That's
but
right.
you have the number one program in the whole of Barbados, in other words, to make sure you put it with your
and we started here. We started here. This is the first stop.
This is the first stop. But people want to know if there's some place that they could go and I know this is Facebook lawyers or Instagram lawyers. All of a sudden they want somebody act. See if it is discriminatory and all kind of thing. You know what this is? But Instagram lawyers. Right.
It is the amendment to Section 85, right, of the Road Traffic Act 295. Right. The printery, government printery, and I believe the Government Information Service, I'm not sure, but they will have it up. They're in this with us.
Right.
And I will definitely speak to that tomorrow to make sure that it's up on their page so that I can refer them to that. But you can also look at the laws of Barbados. If you Google and whatnot, and it should pop up there.
The dangerous people here asking me again, I let the dangerous questions. How will I know if the police that testing me is drunk or sober?
Well, the police officer is only the person handling the device.
Right.
The device is what is testing you.
Right. So
if police officers for the Barbados Police Service are not drunk on duty and tested.
Right. Correct.
That's a known fact.
Right.
So, and even if you think so, the device used that you want to be used this afternoon here is a good modified device just for that. And it's a device that will give you your reading, not the police officer.
Okay.
He doesn't know what your reading is. You don't know. It's only when we do the test, it will provide you with a printout of your reading.
Somebody is asking me long, but I get the gist of it. Yes. If police pulling them over, if they have the right to drive to what they are considered to be a safe, lighted area, like a gas station or something. So let me say, for instance, I coming down from north, but the highway coming down for that dark special road, right? And the police, I have I coming up, but I'm gonna pull me over. And then decide, you see me down this road here too dark. I can wait till they get in Warren by Warren service station and pull in because I don't feel comfortable police pulling me over. They want to know if they're allowed to drive to a safe, lighted location where people visible and people can see everything going on.
Well, we've faced that question before, long before breathalyzer, and we have had to address it. Right. Let me say, our police officers are told, are informed, are instructed that they should use their common sense. When looking to pull over offenders, we should look into a safe environment, not only safe for the offenders, but safe for the police officers too. We must consider the fact that when we're stopping individuals, they may be female drivers, they may be young drivers, they may have little babies in the vehicle. So we don't look for desolate, dark spaces to pull over individuals. Unless it's an absolute dire situation. And even then you would know. So we in this together. So we don't want drivers to understand, to adopt the attitude where they will refuse to stop and claim that they're driving to another police station. Sometimes, in the circumstances, it's best to pull over because the circumstances can change very quickly. And those are settings that I don't want to get much into,
Right.
but certainly police officers on the beat, operational police officers, are advised that they should really seek someplace safe for themselves and for the traveling public to be pulled over. So they will have confidence that you're a police officer, and you as a police officer will have confidence that should there be something that you didn't plan for, that you are in a better lighted situation to make yourself safe.
Okay, good.
Right.
Yeah.
But it takes two though, Queen.
Yeah, I got you covered.
Yeah. I know you got me covered.
I got you covered.
Right.
All right. It's that time of evening, so we can go follow the air. Before we go, God say good evening to the community health workers and let everybody know that this is endometriosis month. God say good evening to Katrina, the endo princess, the endo queen. Also, she's the on Facebook, Key for Barbados. For those persons, who suffer with endometriosis, so go to Key for Barbados and connect with Katrina.
All right, and it's tomorrow. Percy, you got something there with earthquake drill tomorrow, right?
What just see the student there chafing? You got that something? You got that chafing? But you bring the laptop or whatever. But I call it earthquake, and then you make me talk about the right there.
Yeah.
Read that script there with the earthquake. Something you got
The Department of Emergency Management, in collaboration with the Technical Standing Committee of Coastal Hazards, will host a month of activities in March in celebration of Coastal Hazards and Earthquake Smart Month. As part of this month of activities, the committee will be staging National Earthquake Preparedness Day on Friday, March 4th. That's tomorrow, right?
Right, yes.
This day, a national alert will be sent at 10 a.m. to persons' mobile phones via the cat.cat app, and members of the public will be asked to set alarms however they choose to signal the earthquake simulation. At this time, individuals are expected to practice their respective earthquake procedures and record video footage to upload to social media, tagging the DEM. And DEM stands for the Department of Emergency Management.
Correct. So that's happening tomorrow. Okay, and it's all brought to you compliments of Mark's Auto Spares, Good Time Snacks, and Omega XL. Omega XL is a small, easy to swallow capsule. Queen, you don't need to mash it. Queen, you there breaking out?
I know you got Sandy Yaman. I got Sandy Yaman, but he said, let me support Ross.
So you put on the board before you come on the show?
It's starting to smell you. It's starting to smell you there, so it's chewing down.
I want to be alright, God. You keep it so much noise there just now.
I thought you get rid of alcohol.
Yes, it's all brought to you compliments of Great Health Works. Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL. Omega XL is a small, easy to swallow capsule. Omega XL is 200 times more effective than regular fish oils. It reduces inflammation produced by the body due to illness, disease, or exposure to toxins. It reduces joint pain due to buildup of inflammation, thereby improving mobility. It promotes good heart, eye, and respiratory health. Omega XL, distributed by Great Health Works. And it's also brought to you compliments of Mark's Auto Spares. Mark's Auto Spares, 4 locations to serve you. Bel-Air St. George, you can telephone Bel-Air at 437-9819. Spooner Sales St. Michael, 425-9361. Salter St. George, 228-6992. And 6 Road St. Philip, 271-1297. Only top brand name parts for your vehicle. Mark's Auto Spares, the #1 Auto Spares in Barbados. And also Good Time Snacks. Good Time Snacks, your favorite snack, made right here in Barbados. They have the toffee popcorn, caramel popcorn, fruity popcorn, salted popcorn, hot balls, nacho ring, cheese bliss, and corn curls. You can also go nuts with Good Time Snacks. They have the honey-coated peanuts, healthy fruit and nut, salted cashews, almonds, and many, many more. From Good Time Snacks, your favorite snack made right here in Barbados.
Thank you so much, PC Bruce. Thank you so much, please.
Yeah, we're going to thank the gentleman, too. Thank you, Mr. Ennis. That's him right there, Mr. White.
You can't call him Mr. Nothing. That is Inspector and Sergeant Major and Superintendent of different things. You're them friends all
That's the only boy in here uniform right now. I am the only boy in here uniform. If I go, yeah, sorry. Y'all the the glowing thing there, so I already see the uniform and then the most of them don't know well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
Thanks
through.
for the opportunity.
All right. Okay.
Those 2.5 hours came to you with compliments.